What's going on, guys? Sykelone the Ghost here, today with a music production video. I recently saw a video from EDWAN Arcade. They did a 10 samples challenge where they took 10 samples, 5 from each producer, and they challenged each other to make a song with the 10 samples in total. You can use Re-Synthesizers or anything like that, but you can't have any other source of sound other than the samples that you have. I will go through the samples. Apologies that you can't see them in a minute, but these are the 10 samples that we had to use in order to make this song. So we had this cymatic guitar loop, 90 BPM at B minor. Very nice. We had this 142 BPM drum loop. That's alright. I think I only used the snare from that anyway, so... no, I didn't. I'm lying to you. We have this goat scream. We have this Cashmere signature kick. We have a Neurofunk bass. A vocal downlifter. That fades out. A bass, which I really like. A vocal one shot. A melody synth. And We Are Number One sample. We are number one! The good thing that I noticed when I first loaded up these samples is that the bass, the vocal one shot, they're in the key of C, and the melody synth is in C sharp, so it's not particularly hard to make them sound like they're in key. This is the final project, as you're looking at here. I looked and I was trying to think, how could I start off this song? Obviously just thought, load up the guitar, put it in, and edit it about a bit, and see what you can get. So this is what I got for the guitar, with the EQ and the phaser on it, just because it's easier that way. That's the guitar I opened up with, then it goes a bit more funky in the second part. And I also reversed that last bit of the guitar just to bring it into the next part, which has the vocal chops in it. The kick, like I said, is pretty much the exact same kick. I used two different sections of it. I cut out the bass of one and I cut out the high end of the other, and I just joined them together to make a top and a low kick. So it sounds quite beefy. The snare, like I said, is from the drum loop. There's a percussion, which is the snare, but pitched up a little bit. Then I've also got a white noise rise where the snare isn't as much of a smack, it's more of a but it's backwards, so it makes a not white noise rise. As you can hear right there, it just sounds like a hat going backwards. I decided the vocal chops will be the next thing I want to work with, so I edited them around a little bit and I got this. The bass line, I think, is the thing I had the most fun with, because I ended up going through and I wanted that sawtooth bass line in the end. I EQ'd a lot of this bass line out twice so the high end just wouldn't show up, and I bass boosted it with a fruity bass boost, and this is what it sounds like. This is the first part of the drop. This is the drop melody that I used with the vocal one shot. That's what that sounds like. It's got 3 separate octaves, sometimes with just 2 or 1, and it ends up going to like 2 to 4 octaves. I wanted to make some chords with the vocal one shot, so I did this. There's a tiny bit of a chorus effect on there and a stereo shaper just to widen it in the ears. I used the Neurofunk thing and the goat thing to make this really slightly audible percussion. Does sound really weird, but with the song, trust me, it works. When I was listening to the song, I was going through it all and I'm going, it's missing like 2 ingredients which I love to be in songs. And one of them is this Neuro pluck and the other one is this vocal chop piano. I will go through the pluck first because who gives a pluck? The Neurofunk thing, it sounds okay in itself, but I decided to resample it again, get the attack on the loudest part, just smash a load of reverb on it and make this pluck that goes on in the background. It's very subtle, but it just adds something to the song. And then obviously the vocal piano is my favorite thing because to me it sounds like a future house kind of thing. This is what it sounds like. That's the main premise of the drop right there. That is the main thing that you will hear in the drop, along with the vocal chops and the neuro pluck and the bass line. The guitar, I EQ'd a lot of the high end out, I'm pretty sure, just so it's got that mid-range so you can still hear it, it's still there, rather than just taking the whole thing out. I felt like it was really necessary to be there. I know it sounds annoying in the end when you hear the whole song. It will sound like the guitar is just all the way through it, and it doesn't sound extremely pleasant, but when you're stuck with just 10 samples, you need to think of a way to use them all to your best advantage. I use the vocal downlifter, and the vocal sample is here as well, because 110 BPM, it will make it sound weird. We are #1! It does sound strange, however, the song in the end doesn't sound that bad to me, even though I've been working on it for a couple of days, and it's a long process, but I've had fun. If you guys want to do this yourself, the links are in the description. EDWAN's video, Arcade's video, the download to the samples, and just have fun, because this is all it's about. So without any further ado, here is my final song.